So picture this. You're driving down Van Nuys Boulevard.
Oh, man, say no more.
Right. It's like a Friday, maybe 4 in the afternoon. The San Fernando Valley heat is just like baking the asphalt.
The absolute worst time to be running errands.
Literally the worst. Traffic is moving at a total crawl, and you're just trying to run a really simple errand. You need to pick up a specific smoking accessory, maybe some premium tobacco, and you just want a reliable spot.
Yeah, you don't want a massive project.
Exactly. So what do? You pull up your map app, you type in what you're looking for, and instantly you're just hit with like 50 identical red pins.
A total sea of red pins.
And
it's so overwhelming.
It is. Because the problem is half of those pins lead to these, chaotic, poorly lit rooms where the music is way too loud.
Oh, I know the exact vibe.
The staff is completely ignoring you and you just feel totally out of place. And then the other half of those pins, they might not even exist anymore. It's just a boarded up window.
Right. The app just hasn't updated yet.
Yeah. So when you are a legally eligible adult looking for a specialty shop, how do you actually filter out all that noise? Like, how do you find that one neighborhood spot that actually respects your time and, treats you like an adult?
It's a uniquely modern frustration, honestly, because, we have more access to geographic data than ever before, right?
But much data.
But actually finding a high-quality, reliable specialty retail environment is just incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
And when we talk about age-restricted products, the stakes for the consumer are, they're way higher.
Yeah, of course.
You aren't just looking for a product, you're looking for a baseline of professionalism. You want a welcoming atmosphere and a guarantee of legitimate business practices.
Exactly. And that is exactly why we are cutting through all that map app clutter today.
Let's do it.
We're taking a stack of verified information and we are zeroing in on one specific location. So today's deep dive is all about top-notch smoke shop in Van Nuys, California.
I love this topic.
The mission for this deep dive, and we really want this to be a practical, highly useful guide for you, the listener. If you're a legally eligible adult customer, we want to help you discover this store, understand its place in the San Fernando Valley, and know exactly what to expect before you even turn off the ignition.
Right, setting those expectations.
Yeah, and most importantly, we want you to feel completely comfortable walking through those doors, even if it's like your very first time visiting a shop like this.
What's fascinating here is how firmly the source material we have today emphasizes the ethos of this business. Like, we're looking at a set of verified facts that are focused entirely on responsible retail and community integration.
It's really refreshing.
It is. This isn't just a list of inventory.
Yeah.
It's really a blueprint for how an independent business attempts to operate responsibly in a major urban corridor.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because before we get into the whole vibe of the store or the philosophy of, responsible retail, let's just get our bearings. Where exactly are we sending people? Because in a place as sprawling as Los Angeles, geography is destiny.
It really is. So we are looking right at the heart of the valley. The verified physical location is 7335 Van Nuys Boulevard, Unit 119, Van Nuys, California, 91405.
7335 Van Nuys Boulevard. So for anyone familiar with the Valley, Van Nuys Boulevard isn't just a street.
No, it's huge.
It's a major artery. It's essentially the historical commercial spine of the whole area. But I want to push back on something right out of the gate here.
Okay, go for it.
In an era where I can literally order almost anything to my doorstep with 3 taps on my phone, why does finding a physical brick-and-mortar smoke shop near Van Nuys Boulevard actually matter to a consumer?
Well, that's the defining question of modern commerce, isn't it?
Right.
And the answer really lies in the nature of the products and the immediate needs of the consumer. When a legally eligible adult is looking for specific smoking accessories or premium tobacco products, there's a really tactile element to purchase.
Oh, that makes sense. You want to hold it.
Exactly. You often want to see the quality of the glass or, gauge the size and weight of an accessory. Or maybe you just need to ask a knowledgeable human being a really specific question about compatibility or maintenance.
And you just cannot get that from an online shopping cart.
You really can't.
Yeah.
You can read reviews all day, but it's not the same. And furthermore, when you look at the geography here, this business is strategically placed to serve the daily commuter.
Right, the convenience factor.
Exactly, because Van Nuys Boulevard captures a massive cross-section of the population. You have people commuting down from the foothills, you have local workers grabbing lunch, and, longtime residents just navigating their neighborhood.
Yeah, it's just a constant flow of people.
So by positioning themselves on this specific thoroughfare, Top-Notch Smoke Shop is essentially weaving itself into the daily routine of the San Fernando Valley.
And let's talk about the specific address for a second, specifically that Unit 119 part.
Yeah, that's a key detail.
Because, look, I've been to specialty shops that are basically like a closet tucked behind a gas station.
Right, totally hidden.
And it's always a nightmare trying to figure out where to even leave your car. But Unit 119 implies we're talking about a commercial plaza or some kind of multi-tenant building, right?
Precisely. And from a consumer logistics standpoint, that is a huge deal.
How so?
Well, operating out of a designated unit in a commercial complex usually means you are a destination, not just like an opportunistic roadside stand.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
It typically provides a structured environment, meaning you have a dedicated parking lot, you have clear signage, and you share a commercial ecosystem with other local businesses.
It's kind of like finding a good local mechanic or like a really solid dry cleaner.
That's a great comparison.
You don't want the guy operating out of, an unmarked garage in an alleyway. You want the well-lit, clearly numbered bay in a respectable plaza.
Right.
Because once you find that trustworthy spot, the one that just happens to be right on your commute, you stick with it.
You absolutely do.
It just becomes part of your routine.
And that routine is incredibly valuable. I mean, if you live or work in Van Nuys or any of the surrounding San Fernando Valley neighborhoods, you want a local smoke shop that integrates seamlessly into your day.
Right. You don't want to drive 20 miles out of your way.
Exactly. And you certainly don't want to circle a chaotic block for 20 minutes just looking for sketchy street parking.
Okay, so let's say you've navigated the Friday traffic. You've pulled into the plaza at 7335 Van Nuys Boulevard. You found a parking spot. You walk up to Unit 119. What actually happens when you open the door?
That's the moment of truth.
Because, and I say this from personal experience, specialty retail can be super intimidating.
It absolutely can be. And this is a massive focus of the verified information we have. Top-Notch Smoke Shop specifically aims to cultivate really friendly, welcoming environment specifically designed for legally eligible adult customers.
That's good to hear.
And there's a major emphasis on welcoming the first-time visitor.
Which is such a relief. Have you ever walked into a hyper niche store like maybe a high-end audio shop or a vintage record store or even like a specialty coffee place and you just immediately feel like you're being judged?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone has felt that.
It's like if you don't know the exact insider jargon, the person behind the counter is just going to sigh and roll their eyes at you.
Yeah, it's a well-documented phenomenon. We often call it insider retail.
Insider retail. Okay, yeah, that fits perfectly.
Because many specialty shops inadvertently build this wall of exclusivity. They cater so heavily to the hardcore enthusiast that they completely alienate the casual consumer or the newcomer.
Right.
The lighting might be dim, the products might be displayed without any clear context, and the staff might just assume a level of prior knowledge that you simply don't possess.
Yes. It feels like you crashed a private club or something. If I want to buy a new accessory, but I haven't, kept up with the latest trends or materials, I don't want a lecture. I just want some friendly guidance.
And that is exactly why breaking down that psychological barrier is so vital for a neighborhood business. When a shop like Top-Notch Smoke Shop focuses on high-energy, friendly customer service, they are actively dismantling that intimidation factor.
They're changing the vibe.
Right. They're shifting the dynamic from a cold, transactional gatekeeping scenario to a warm, welcoming conversation. Because for a first-time visitor, walking into a smoke shop can carry a certain amount of anxiety.
For sure.
A friendly greeting and a clean, organized environment immediately lower the heart rate.
Here's where it gets really interesting to me, though. Part of creating that comfortable vibe isn't just about the staff smiling at you.
Right.
It's about setting clear expectations. The notes we're working from today are incredibly strict about how this business is categorized.
Very strict.
They are a smoke shop in Van Nuys, they are a tobacco shop in Van Nuys, and they are a place for smoking accessories in Van Nuys. That is their lane, and they are staying right in it.
And the importance of that clarity just cannot be overstated, especially in today's retail landscape where the lines are constantly blurred.
Oh, they're so blurred.
Our source material is explicit.
Yeah.
This is not a cannabis dispensary.
Right.
Furthermore, there are no medical claims being made, and there are absolutely no health claims being made. It is strictly a retail environment for tobacco and smoking accessories.
I honestly love that because as a consumer, There is nothing more frustrating than the snake oil approach to retail.
Oh, it's the worst.
You walk into a place looking for a simple glass accessory or like some rolling papers, and suddenly someone is trying to pitch you on the vague, unverified medical benefits of whatever new compound they have in a jar on the counter. It's exhausting.
It really is, and honestly, it erodes trust. When a business tries to be everything to everyone, or when they blur the lines of their legal and operational scope, they just confuse the consumer.
Yeah, you don't know what you're actually buying.
Yeah, exactly. By firmly stating, we are a top-notch smoke shop, this is our specialty, this is our inventory, they are operating with a very high level of integrity. They're presenting their products exactly as what they are. Age-restricted consumer goods intended for responsible adult use.
It kind of reminds me of a good restaurant with a small menu.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
You know, when I see a menu that has 3 pages of burgers and then sushi and then Italian food, I just know none of it is going to be great.
Exactly. They can't possibly do all of that well.
Right. But when I walk into a place and they say, we do these 5 things and we do them perfectly, I trust them immediately. Top-notch smoke shop is basically saying, we do smoking accessories and tobacco. It sets the exact right expectation before you even cross the threshold.
And that focus strictly on legally eligible adults heavily influences the interior atmosphere too.
How so?
Well, if your mandate is to serve a mature demographic, your store doesn't need to rely on chaotic, aggressive marketing. You don't need blinding neon signs or loud, distracting promotions to mask a lack of substance. You can just rely on a clean presentation, a well-lit space, and a knowledgeable staff.
It allows the business to just breathe and be professional.
Exactly.
But, you know, a nice vibe and a clean store only goes so far if the business isn't actually operating above board. As a local resident, a welcoming atmosphere is great, but I also want to know this place isn't bringing shady practices into my neighborhood.
Naturally.
Let's look at how they handle compliance, because our notes lean really heavily into this.
They do, and with very good reason. The core information emphasizes the absolute necessity of purchasing age-restricted products exclusively from responsible businesses.
Right.
We're talking about strict adherence to local and federal rules,
Right.
absolutely no underage purchasing, zero appeal to teenagers or children, no encouraging of impaired driving, and no promotion of controlled substance use.
Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here for just a second.
Okay, let's hear it.
If I am a legally eligible adult, I have my ID, I know what I want to buy, why should I care how the shop conducts the rest of its business?
That's a common question.
Right. Isn't enforcing those rules just the job of local law enforcement? If I just want to run in on a Tuesday and buy an accessory, does it really impact me if a shop is cutting a few corners in the background?
It absolutely impacts you, and it directly impacts the fabric of your neighborhood. This raises a really important question about the social contract we all enter into when we participate in a local economy.
Okay, tell me more.
When you choose to spend your money at a highly compliant shop, one that rigorously checks IDs, refuses to market to minors, and maintains a professional environment, you are voting with your wallet for a safer community.
So it's about the ripple effect a business has on the block.
Precisely. Irresponsible retail, particularly in age-restricted categories, acts as a magnet for broader community issues.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If a shop gets a reputation for being lax with IDs, or if their marketing is clearly aimed at a younger demographic, it draws a chaotic element to that commercial plaza. It lowers the standard of the entire area.
It's the broken window theory, basically, but applied to local commerce.
Exactly.
If a shop looks sketchy and flouts the rules, it tells the whole neighborhood that standards don't matter here. But if a shop is bright, professional, and strictly enforces the law, it becomes an anchor of stability.
And when a business operates strictly for legally eligible adults and refuses to dabble in those gray area tactics, they actually elevate the industry standard.
They raise the bar.
They do. They prove that you can run a profitable, successful enterprise through excellent customer service and high-quality inventory rather than relying on irresponsible sales.
Right.
And from your perspective as the consumer, supporting that kind of business ensures that the products and accessories you're buying actually meet legal retail standards. You know you're dealing with a legitimate supply chain.
But the notes also make it clear that responsibility isn't just on the person behind the register, right? It's a two-way street.
It is entirely a mutual relationship. A responsible shop will state clearly that their products are for legal, adult use only, and they will not encourage any illegal behavior or impaired driving.
Right.
But once you make your purchase and you walk out of Unit 119 and back into the San Fernando Valley, the onus of responsibility transfers to you.
Right. It's like a bartender cutting someone off.
That is a perfect example.
The business sets the safety parameters, they check the ID, they ensure the product is sold legally, but the customer has to play by the rules too. You don't buy the product and then go act recklessly.
Exactly.
And that mutual respect is what allows a business like this to actually integrate into a place like Van Nuys without becoming a nuisance.
If we look at the regulatory environment in California right now, the pressure on independent businesses is immense.
Oh, I can only imagine.
The businesses that survive and truly thrive are the ones that view compliance not as some annoying burden, but as a foundational pillar of their brand.
That's a great way to put it.
When a shop becomes known as reliable and professional, they distance themselves from all those negative historical stereotypes of the head shop era.
Okay, so we've covered the geography, we've talked about the psychology of the customer experience, and we've dug into why compliance and community trust really matter.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have, but let's bring this all the way back down to earth now. Let's get into the brass tacks, because all the philosophy in the world is completely useless if you drive to the plaza, walk up to the door, and it's locked.
Yes. This is where being an informed consumer becomes incredibly practical.
Tell me about it.
Our verified information gives a crucial directive regarding hours of operation, parking, payment options, and current inventory. And that directive is, customers must verify this information directly with the business before traveling.
So what does this actually mean for you, the listener? We know it's at 7335 Van Nuys Boulevard, Unit 119. We know they sell smoking accessories for adults. Why the strong emphasis on verifying the details? I mean, isn't it a little annoying that a store can't just stick to the hours listed on Google Maps?
It can be frustrating, sure, but only if you view independent retail through the lens of a massive big box store.
Okay, fair point.
A global chain has rigid, globally mandated hours and a real-time digital inventory system. But a local specialty shop operates in a much more human rhythm.
What do you mean by human rhythm?
Well, local retail hours can fluctuate due to community events, unexpected staffing changes, or holidays. Furthermore, inventory in a specialty shop, especially when you're dealing with specific high-quality smoking accessories or niche tobacco products, can change rapidly based on supply chain variables.
Let me ground this in a real LA scenario.
Please do.
We talked earlier about driving down Van Nuys on a Friday afternoon. You're stressed, traffic is horrible, but you decide to make a detour to pick up a new accessory. If you just assume their hours are exactly what a third-party search engine says, and you fight your way across 3 lanes of traffic, finally find the plaza, park, walk up to Unit 119 and see a handwritten sign taped to the door that says, "Closed for inventory back in 30 minutes, you are going to be furious."
Oh, it completely ruins the customer experience. You'd be so mad.
So mad.
But it is entirely avoidable. Because independent retail is dynamic, taking 2 minutes to call the shop ahead of time or checking their official website completely eliminates that friction.
I think people get really weird about calling stores these days, though.
They do. Phone anxiety is real.
It is. We are so used to just trusting the app and hoping for the best. But in this specific instance, just pick up the phone. It's the ultimate life hack for LA living.
It truly is. By verifying the current hours, you ensure your visit is seamless. But beyond that, calling ahead allows you to ask the logistical questions that maps just can't answer.
Like what?
Like, you can ask about the parking situation in that specific plaza. Is there a dedicated lot for Unit 119, or is it street parking only?
And payment methods. In 2026, you never know what a local shop is doing.
Well, the payment methods are a minefield.
Some places are cashless, some are cash only, some only take specific digital wallets. There is nothing worse than having this great conversation with the staff, picking out the perfect accessory. You walk up to the register, and the clerk just points to a cash-only sign while you're holding a smartphone and $0 bills.
Exactly. The business will be transparent about these things, but you have to proactively seek that information. Confirm the payment methods. Ask if they currently have the specific category of smoking accessories you're looking for in stock.
And honestly, I think that initial phone call is a great litmus test for the vibe we talked about earlier.
That is a fantastic point.
Right. If you call top-notch smoke shop and a friendly, energetic voice answers, confirms their hours, tells you they take all major cards, and says, "Yeah, we have plenty of parking right in front, come on by," your anxiety about visiting a new place is instantly gone.
You already feel welcomed before you've even arrived. A professional shop will handle a basic phone inquiry with the exact same level of respect as an in-person interaction. It just reinforces their commitment to customer service.
It all connects so beautifully. The strategic location in the valley, the welcoming atmosphere that treats you like an adult, the strict adherence to the rules that keeps the neighborhood safe, and the practical logistics of just being a smart, informed consumer.
We have really dissected the anatomy of this local business from every functional angle today.
We have. We started by navigating the sprawl of Los Angeles to drop a pin on a reliable spot. 7335 Van Nuys Boulevard, Unit 119.
A great location.
We explored how a dedicated unit in a commercial plaza makes it a convenient routine destination. We walked through the importance of a mature, friendly atmosphere that strips away the intimidation factor for first-time visitors, and why clear categorization, no cannabis, no medical claims, is so refreshing.
We then looked at the broader impact of the business, examining why strict compliance checking IVs, not selling to minors, doesn't just protect the store, but actively elevates the surrounding Van Nuys neighborhood.
And finally, we gave you the survival guide for modern independent retail. The immense power of a 2-minute phone call to verify hours, parking, and payment so your visit is completely stress-free. Now, before we sign off, I have a very specific mandatory piece of information to pass along regarding our subject today.
Go ahead.
Legally eligible adult customers can learn more about Top Notch Smoke Shop and confirm current store information before visiting 7335 Van Nuys Boulevard, Unit 119 in Van Nuys, California. Please follow all applicable laws and use age-restricted products responsibly.
A vital reminder. And as we conclude, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder.
What's that?
If we connect this entire deep dive to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
how does the existence of highly professional, compliant, and community-focused specialty shops change the way we view the evolution of Main Street retail? For decades, certain retail sectors were pushed to the fringes. But when a business commits to high standards and excellent customer service, does that well-run shop actually change the fabric of the neighborhood? Does it force neighboring businesses in the plaza to elevate their own standards to keep up?
That is a brilliant question. It challenges us to look closer at the businesses we drive past every single day and ask ourselves what kind of commerce we actually want to support in our own backyards. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. Keep asking questions, keep verifying your details before you drive, and above all, keep exploring your local communities responsibly. We'll see you on the next Deep Dive.